Get 3 months of local news for just 99 cents a month. You'll get unlimited access to the news you need to stay engaged and connected to your community. Visit duluthnewstribune.com/subscribe now to get 3 months of local news for only 99 cents a month.
Hello, Northlanders. It's Wednesday, August 23rd. I'm Wyatt Buckner with your Duluth News Tribune Minute, presented by Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union.
The average MPECU member saves over $785 a year in better rates and lower fees. And with MPECU, every ATM is your ATM. With their free checking program, you get ATM fee reimbursements at any ATM anywhere in the U.S. Check out Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union's services online at mpecu.com or visit their offices in downtown Duluth, Arrowhead Road, or Miller Trunk Highway.
Now here's a look at today's headlines. A man was apparently placed in a car and left on a public street in Chisholm for 5 days after fatally overdosing, authorities said. A 911 call had been placed from the phone belonging to the victim, Timothy Robert Baker, on March 8th, but it wasn't until March 13th that his body was found, and only later did officers suspect that another person was responsible for making the call while the 63-year-old was clinging to life. Justin Dean Stauffer, 41 of Chisholm, faces a third-degree murder charge for allegedly supplying the methamphetamine and fentanyl that killed Baker. Stauffer was initially charged in March with a slew of drug and firearm offenses. It was only months later, as the investigation continued, that St. Louis County prosecutors filed an amended complaint charging him with the homicide. Police executed a warrant at Stauffer's home March 21st, arresting him after he ignored commands and attempted to flee on foot. In a bedroom, officers found a .223 caliber rifle, ammunition, more than 56 grams of suspected methamphetamine, more than 8 grams of suspected fentanyl, a small quantity of suspected cocaine, and several containers of apparent prescription pills, including morphine, amphetamine, and clonazepam. Other paraphernalia, including digital scales, an apparent formula for mixing meth and fentanyl, and pricing details, also were found in the bedroom, which other residents identified as belonging to Stauffer. Stauffer faces 8 felonies. In addition to murder, he is accused of 6 controlled substance crimes, ranging from first-degree sale to fifth-degree possession, along with 1 count of possession of a firearm by an ineligible person. Records indicate Stauffer has at least 6 prior felony convictions in Minnesota, including 3 for drugs, 2 for fleeing police in a motor vehicle, and another for financial transaction card fraud. A number of lesser convictions include multiple instances of fleeing an officer on foot, obstructing the legal process, and impaired driving. Stauffer is being held at the St. Louis County Jail on $300,000 bail. His next court appearance is set for September 14th. A woman was arrested after a house was destroyed in a suspected arson fire in Mackinac Tuesday morning, authorities said. St. Louis County Sheriff's deputies were initially dispatched to a disturbance call on the 6600 block of Wilson Road around 5:30 a.m., finding the woman standing in a field near the home. A woodpile was on fire underneath a lean-to that was connected to the home, and the blaze then spread to the residents, according to a news release. One man was still in the house at the time, the sheriff's office reported, but deputies were able to make contact with him and safely exited. The house was deemed a total loss. St. Louis County jail records show that a 33-year-old woman was booked at 7:40 a.m. on a preliminary charge of first-degree arson. The News Tribune generally does not identify suspects until they are formally charged. A trial date was set in Douglas County Circuit Court on Monday for a former Superior Police Sergeant who faces 12 criminal charges for his alleged involvement in a fatal crash that took place on July 15, 2022. Gregory M. Swanson, 43 of Solon Springs, faces 8 felony counts, 2 counts each of homicide by intoxicated use of a vehicle, homicide by use of a vehicle with a prohibited alcohol concentration, hit and run involving death, and hit and run involving injury. He also faces 2 misdemeanor counts of causing injury while operating under the influence, and 2 misdemeanor counts of causing injury while operating with a prohibited alcohol concentration. A jury trial for Swanson is set to begin May 20th, 2024, and run for 5 days. According to online court records, a pre-trial conference will take place April 29th, 2024. According to the criminal complaint, a vehicle Swanson was driving struck a disabled sedan with no lights in the right lane of the 5200 block of East 2nd Street at about 1:17 a.m. July 15, 2022. A 23-year-old man was reported dead at the scene, according to a news release. He had been behind the vehicle pushing it at the time of the crash. Another occupant of the vehicle, 2-month-old Elijah Michael Ojanen, died 4 days later from blunt force trauma suffered during the crash, according to a news release from the Hennepin County Medical Examiner. A blood draw indicated Swanson had a blood alcohol concentration of 0.190 at the time of the crash, more than twice the legal limit, an amended complaint said. 2 additional occupants of the vehicle, a woman and an older child, were treated for injuries caused by the collision at Essentia Health St. Mary's Medical Center, including whiplash, a laceration, and bruising from child safety restraint straps. If Swanson is convicted, each charge for homicide by intoxicated use of a vehicle carries a maximum penalty of up to 25 years in prison and up to $100,000 in fines. Now here's a look at your forecast, brought to you by the Superior Telegram's history podcast, Archive Dive.
Weather for the Duluth area today, looking at some areas of fog in the morning and then mostly cloudy skies throughout the afternoon. High temperatures in the low 70s. Chance of showers and storms overnight tonight, and then for Thursday, looking at a chance of storms in the morning, otherwise mostly sunny skies the rest of the day, and warmer, temperatures getting close to 80 degrees. I'm Storm Tracker meteorologist Robert Pointzer.
Thank you to Archive Dive for their support. The monthly history podcast, hosted by Superior Telegram reporter Maria Lockwood, dips into the archives of historic events, people, and places around Superior and Douglas County. You can find the latest episode of Archive Dive at superiortelegram.com or wherever you also get this podcast. Reporting for today's episode was done by Tom Olson and Maria Lockwood. Thank you for listening to Duluth News Tribune Minute. Have a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.